Hopefully that's working. Ant-Man Moto here. It is Ice Storm Saturday, and I am on my way to go do something that's going to be so cool for the rest of the year. But it all hinges on this trip, this little mission right here. I have found something. I found a bike that is absolutely supposed to be mine. You know, I always talk about that. The vibe, the soul, you're on the bike you're supposed to be on. Bro, I found a bike today that fits so perfectly what I am trying to do in life right now, and I'm gonna show you what it is. But we've got a bit of an issue. We have an ice storm that is approaching. It will be here late tonight, but they are preparing the roads for freezing conditions. Now, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and it doesn't really snow here. We don't really have winter weather, but when it does snow or rain, it's usually followed by very cold temperatures, and those cold temperatures freeze that melted snow or rain and turn it into a giant ice rink. So people got really badly stranded here back in 2014 because it snowed, the snow started to melt, and then the temperatures dropped to like 20 degrees and it just turned into a sheet of ice. People could not get home. It was a mess. So they're preparing for another scenario like that today. So we're doing this mission at the same time that that's happening. So if it gets too sketchy, or if there's like a lot of rocks, pebbles on the road, I'm gonna abort the mission. But for now, the mission is a go. So let's do this new bike mission together. Woo! This time with my wallet, and I have my wallet just because in the event I get pulled over, I'm not one of those people like on the body cam videos where they're like, no, I don't have my wallet, I don't have my ID, and I'm yelling at the TV, who leaves the house without their license? Who does that? I'm gonna make this light. What you got to watch out for is people in snowmageddon panic mode as they drive. That's the biggest thing you got to watch out for today. Snowmageddon panic drivers. Because in Atlanta, that's what you have a lot of. I'm just going to keep this bad boy recording just to see how it does. I have a large battery pack attached to the camera, and this camera is running on that battery. It is not running on its own battery. As a matter of fact, I run a GoPro Hero 8, as you can see here, and there's no ND filter or anything on it, and I normally will take 3 or 4 or 6 batteries with me on any given day to record, or if I mount it to the bike, then I just hook it up via the USB and keep the battery charged that way. But with this, let me put this windscreen down so you can hear me better. With this, I can just record all day without any thought of battery changing or battery life or any of that. It's a really brilliant system. I am really fearful of the modern day driver on the roads in Atlanta in 2026, because you either have guys that are driving really slow, or you have guys that are just freaking railing and tailgating and making crazy ass moves. I hope you can see how weird this is. I don't know if it's coming across on video, but this is never happens. Atlanta never looks this desolate, ever. I think maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning you'll get it like this. All right, and I have made it to the destination, and this is what we're doing today. It's a 2024 DR 650 Supermotoed out. My man Tyler is going to let me have the honor of riding it, but I think this is going into the stable, man. All hell is gonna break loose up at the Dragon this year. All right, let's see how she goes.
Go up and down the road, do whatever you want, man. You got it.
Okay,
I trust you.
I'll just take it around, just a short trip. I don't need a lot of time on it.
Yeah,
and I know the road is cold and the tires are cold, so now is the choke on?
Yeah, I can turn it off right now.
Okay, cool. So doesn't take long to warm up. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't take that long. Another thing I would do, depending on whatever you want it for, whether it's like torque or the first gear is kind of short because of the 14-tooth front sprocket.
Yeah.
But I have the 15-tooth front sprocket just in case you want to change it.
Okay.
So everything is kind of geared a little more down for torque. But I
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
Yeah. That's one of the best, cheapest mods you can make is gearing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not with that. That's a shaft drive.
That's pretty big.
All right. It's entirely possible that we will be owning this bike. Oh. All right, and I decided to come on here and do the voiceover because I really did not, I was speechless this whole ride. I'll make a couple of grunts, a couple of incoherent statements, but for the most part, I was just so stoked to be riding this bike. We all know the DR 650. I got the idea to get this bike from my man Brian, who runs the SoCal Supermoto school out in Southern California. I've done the school twice, and on the last time he did the school, he came up with what he thought was the perfect motorcycle for Supermoto. And that bike was this DR 650 that I am riding right here. Because the DRZ 400 that he uses for school is pretty underpowered for the freeway, you would not have fun with that bike on the road, and you would also get smoked by about pretty much anybody else on any other kind of motorcycle, including a 390, because they're just woefully underpowered. They're fun bikes and great bikes for school, but they're super underpowered. But the DR 650, this bike is like the perfect sweet spot. It has 644 cc's. It makes about 40 horsepower, and it weighs 300 and 66 pounds wet, about 324 pounds dry. It holds 3.5 gallons of fuel. I would estimate it probably gets about 50 miles to the gallon. But the beauty is it has a boatload of torque. And unlike the DRZ 400, you can actually ride it on the freeway and ride at cruising speeds comfortably. But it makes a great Supermoto because you can throw these Supermoto tires on here and you can basically take it onto a Supermoto track and run with the Supermoto guys if you so desire, because it has the power and the torque to do that. Great for wheelies. And this guy is selling his with this subdivision, 2 extra sets of wheels. One for kind of semi-street riding that it came with, and then another set for dirt riding. So I can throw the dirt tires on this thing and go hill climbing and motocrossing if I want. Or I can throw the Supermoto tires on it and hey, look at what we got, a Supermoto. Or I can throw the other tires on there and just do some dual sporting or ride it up to the mountains and miss. Like dude, disjointed. Like I see all these streets, but this bike will do it all. But what I'm gonna buy it to do is Supermoto practice, Supermoto dragon runs, and wheelies. Man, we are going to wheelie this thing. This is a wheelie machine, and I can't wait to get on it and start practicing my wheelies. I'm really going to improve my wheelies this year, and I also have the XR100 at home, which my boy Master Mechanic Mike is rebuilding the motor on, and once that is done, I will start doing some mini moto racing, and then to play around at the Dragon and to play around with the big boys like my man Canadian Mike and my man JR. I'll be on this bad boy, not to mention my boy Motard Nick. What's up, Nick? So right here I realize I'm running out of gas. Yep, this bike had very little gas in it, so there it goes, conks out. I throw it into reserve, and the good old DR has a nice little reserve tank on it. Let the fuel flow a little bit, slosh it around, boom, we're back up and running, and we're ready to rip some more. I'm so happy I found this bike. It's a 2024 DR650 with 3,000 miles on it. It was owned by one guy, this 22-year-old kid who bought it, did the mods to it, and then decided he got in trouble for wheeling and wanted to sell it. He's got bark busters on here. He's got pro taper bars on here with risers. He put the Supermoto wheels on it. He put a jet kit on it, and this thing has a Yoshimura can on it also. So it's got all the stuff done to it already. The only thing I see that I'm going to need to do to it is get the sag set for my weight, because I'm a bigger guy than him, and also remove the evaporator. I'm gonna remove the emissions, because that is what's causing the popping on D-cell. Is he still has all the emission stuff hooked up, and those emissions. I'm so happy about this. They don't like an aftermarket can. So anyway, that's my spiel. I'm gonna shut up now because I think this is where I actually start talking. Happy. Let's do a walk around real quick. I don't try to wheelie it because I don't want to try to wheelie it, but just take a gander at what we're about to do here. This is my new addition, and you're the first to see it here on Ant-Man Moto. It's not a done deal yet, but it will be by the end of next week, hopefully. A 2024 DRZ, excuse me. I'm so excited. A 2024 DR650, Supermotoed out. This guy's done very tasteful mods to it, as you can see. It's got the Supermoto wheels on it. He's got the crash protection, which I love that he put that there. You can see even the frame rails have very little signs of wear. This bike has 3,000 miles on it. Engine protection, very little wear. I love that he has the bark busters on it already, so the crashes aren't going to tear up anything. The oil cooler is protected here, and that comes OEM that way. He's got a very nice Yoshimura exhaust on here with a mid pipe, so that big giant catalytic converter that comes on the stock exhaust is gone. I think he's got different rotors up front. That's a different rotor, and I think that's a different rotor in the rear, wave rotors. And he's got, looks like he's got some different risers up here. Oh yeah, he's got risers here, which I love that. And he's got the Pro Taper bars on it, some aftermarket grips. He's got a very short lever here, almost too short for me. I'm gonna probably change that. He's got a different front fender on here where you can see it slightly longer. The Supermoto fender stops here, and he's going to include that also. I'll honestly probably put the Supermoto fender on it because I like that short look up front. And he's jetted it, and you can hear it backfires a bit, but I think that's due to the emissions. And we're gonna fix that. I'm not gonna fool around with the jetting too much, but I will probably bypass the emissions. And yeah, this bike is ready to rip pretty much. Now I know, you know, suspension, you need a shock, it needs new forks, it needs this, it needs that. Listen, I'm gonna get the sag set up for myself as close as I can, and I'm just gonna ride it, you know. I learned a lot at SoCal Supermoto School last time, and one of the biggest things I took away from taking that course this second time is don't worry so much about the bike setup as you worry about what you do on the bike, because your input is so much more vital than what you do to the suspension. I love it. I love it. I'm just gonna say, I love it. It's fantastic. And boom. We're gonna have a deal. So this week, I'm going to be making some moves to get the keys here on the side. Turn it off. I'm going to be making some moves to finalize this, and we're going to be doing some DR action next week. Thank you, Mr. Tyler.
Yeah, of course.
All right, and you can see it's next to its cousin right there. And yeah, these guys are going to be sharing a garage soon, hopefully. So, yeah. I had to see it, ride it. I had to feel its essence. And I think it's perfect, man.
Oh yeah.
It's exactly what I was looking for. It's just basically a stock DR tastefully modified into a Supermoto. Yep. That's exactly what I was looking for. Clean. I even like white. I've never owned a white bike before. No, I take that back. My XR100's white, but it's like like beige because it's so old. The white has turned beige, but this is the first white bike I think I've ever owned. All righty, buddy. I'll talk to you. And there she goes, DR650. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so cool to have. That is the bike. That and my XR. Those are the two bikes that are going to make my SoCal Supermoto trip of 2026 a successful one. Yep. I gotta pee. Look at the size of that thing. Freaking gas stations or something. Oh, there's a Dunkin' Donuts. That's what I need in my life. Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. This is what I want right here. Ooh. All right, and we're gonna stop in Dunkin' Donuts, grab ourselves a freaking sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, and we're going to bask in the idea that we will have a full-on legit Supermoto in our garage soon, and we can begin training. We can get in some hot laps at the Dragon. We can get on some hot laps up in the mountains. We can just act a fool. We can practice. We can get better at our wheelies. We can get better at our supermotoing. We could take it to the track. We could take it to the Heron compound. We can take it to a parking lot and just rip on that thing and really get good. And I think that is the bike that I'm going to be riding quite a bit more than either one of these. I have decided that the Strada is going to be a bit of a rental. Yeah, I'm going to, of course, ride it myself and do road trips myself, but this bike I'm going to ride share it this year a few times and see if it gets any nibbles with ride share. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Ant-Man Moto. Like, subscribe, tell a moto buddy, and remember to take care of each other, but more importantly, take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to bring you the video of me picking up the DR. It's coming soon. Peace.